Thank you so much. We are the last panel for today, and we are really honored and grateful for this opportunity. So I'm here with my colleague, Bryan. Bryan will be co-moderating with me. Bryan, we can test your mic.
We have 15 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Davina.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bryan Nthiga, part of the NSE team, largely handling real estate and fintechs. But most importantly, I think I'm embodying the leaderless movement happening in the country, right?
Come on, tell us.
Yeah, because I'm not part of the program, but I'm here on the panel comfortably, right? So I'm the Gen Z keeping order.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, a round of applause for our Gen Z. All right.
You're the Gen Z who's just killed 2 minutes. I'm just saying.
Awesome.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
All right. So like he's mentioned, one of the key things we've picked from the last panel, one keyword was Gen Z. And here we're actually going to be discussing about innovation and technology. And there are similarities between the Gen Z. For our visitors who've come from across the African region and across the globe, the Gen Z movement has certain similarities between blockchain and artificial intelligence, which is our topic. So we'll be waiting for a question for you as the audience. What is the similarity between Gen Z, blockchain, and artificial intelligence? Bryan has already leaked out one, but we shall be getting back to you. So my name is Irungu Waggema. I'm in charge of the business development for agri-sector at the NSE. I'm also the treasurer at the REITS Association of Kenya, and it's such a delight. So we'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. There is someone, his name is Simon, not Simon, Simon. So let's put our hands as we welcome Simon to introduce himself.
Thank you, Irungu. Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here today. Thank you to the REITS Association of Kenya for the invitation to speak today. It's a great honor to join you today. So my name is Simon Ardonceau. I'm the founder and CEO of AIRE. So to give a bit of background about myself, I've been working in the real estate industry for about 20 years now across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. One of the roles I've held for a while was actually head of consulting and business development for Africa at JLL, where I was based in Johannesburg. I effectively set up the business for JLL at the time in 2016, rolled it out into Kenya, Nigeria, and then Morocco. And then I came back to Dubai, where I live today. To give a few words about AIRE, so AIRE stands for AI Real Estate. It's a company that provides consulting and tech services to clients in Africa. Our focus today is 100% Africa. We are a team of 9 people sitting in Kenya, in South Africa, and in Morocco. And we service our clients all across the continent. And myself, I'm based in Dubai and flying around the continent very frequently. In terms of what we do, so consulting is very wide. So the typical services in consulting will involve your market studies, your feasibility studies, portfolio strategy, repositioning of assets, etc. We work across all asset classes in real estate. So of course the core real estate asset classes that are residential, retail, office, and hospitality. But also we've got expertise in more like niche asset classes like student accommodation, senior living, healthcare, education, and the likes. Moving to AIRE Software. So AIRE Software is a software we've developed in-house, and it uses AI, big data, and automation to generate feasibility study reports for real estate projects. It does that. So we do it today in a matter of 5 business days, where normally any consultant will do it anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. So we really speed up the process for the generation of those reports. Here in Kenya, we had the privilege to work with a number of key clients, some of them being here in the room. So ICA Lion is one of them, Santom, Tattoo City, to name a few. So very happy to be here. And on that note, I think we have a short video for AIRE Software.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know who is pressing the button.
Okay, all right.
If anyone is.
Right.
Okay.
So they have a small video, so you can go ahead and watch. Thank you.
Need a feasibility study or a highest and best use study for your real estate development project? Simply head to app.airealestate.org and start with creating an account. Once your account is created, choose what type of study you would like us to help you with. Based on the type of study you choose, you will be prompted to answer a series of questions in order for the AIRE team to properly guide you. This will be done step by step, divided into different categories. For example, in a highest and best use study, you will have to fill out your information as shown, giving your project site address and the type of real estate development it is. We have designed our interface to be as simple as possible, and overall,
This questionnaire should not take you more than 5 minutes to complete, and whenever you don't have certain information at hand, just click the skip button and our team will do the rest. Once all the information is filled out, you will have access to your project's dashboard with many different features. Firstly, the progress tracker will allow you to follow the advancements of each individual steps of the project as well as their data completion. Other features include an instant messaging app to simplify contact between you and your dedicated AIRE team. The dashboard also provides the option for you to invite other team members through the Users tab in order for them to also track the progress and communicate directly with the AIRE team. You will find your billing information as well as pending and paid invoices.
Sorry about that.
The Files section is a sharing platform in case your project has additional documents to provide to AIRE, such as plans, measurements, or renderings. Finally, our commitment is to provide you with a report within 5 business days, which you'll be able to access and download under the report section.
Okay, sorry about the background.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical hits they are fixing.
Hello, hello.
All right, sorry about that. I think before microphones work, we have loud voices.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you for that informative video. But before we get to the question on AIRE Software, I think Dr. Mohammed should also introduce himself. I know he's very modest, but he's done a lot of work even for the existing REITs. But let's hear more about blockchain and Sharia compliance.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rak. Thank you, everyone, Waggema, for inviting me once again. It's a pleasure to be here again at the RAC conference. I was here last year talking about Islamic finance and Islamic REITs. This time around, we'll be looking at a slightly advanced version of Islamic REITs or Islamic structures within technology and REITs. So yeah, my name is Dr. Mohammed Salyani. I'm the director and founder for Araf Consultants. We do Sharia compliance for REIT structures, and we also do Islamic banking software structures as well. So anything relating to Islamic finance and corporate structures, we do that. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. We are currently at an infancy stage of coming up with a tokenization platform where you can put up any asset, whether it's a fixed asset or a real estate asset, onto a blockchain platform. So since the platform was about, or the discussion is about tokenization, innovation, and the like, we'll be talking more on that. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed. So it's so the topic today is on innovation technology, and we want to see how that interfaces with the real estate investment trust. I know I still ask you the question. We want to see what's a significant similarity. I can see Conrad is shaking his head between Gen Z, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. So Keepers will be having some presence through where is she? Moderator. We'll see how to give some presence on that. But before we go so far, Dr. Mohammed, maybe can you explain to us in very simple layman terms what is blockchain? You know, sometimes people get a block in their head when you hear blockchain. Maybe it's a bit complex, and for others, maybe you already are using the technology. So to ensure that all of us can flow, let us get a simple definition of blockchain. Dr. Mohammed.
Thank you, Waggema. I believe you have something like this on your desk. Something like this on your desk, right? Now, the blockchain platform is understood to be, before I get there, how many of you have invested in Bitcoin? I can see a few hands, right? So that's great. We'll get to why the Bitcoin is where it is. But before we get there, the Bitcoin is actually placed on a blockchain. So a blockchain is a universal technological platform. Just like a mobile phone can have an Android software or an iOS software. So the blockchain is the setup, or you can call it the mobile phone. Now, as you look at the blockchain, there are 4 blocks or maybe more on your desk, okay? And each of those blocks has got a small segment in there divided into 3. Anybody who has a different block on their table? Completely different. Yeah, I can see a few hands there. Okay, we'll get to tell you why that block is on your desk. So when we have these blockchains, they go in a certain sequence. Can you see the sequence? There's orange on the top, red in the middle, followed by purple, and the bottom one is blue. Okay? Now, these blocks as colors are known as the full block. The segment in each of this, which is divided into 3, all right, is known as a smart contract. So when we all understand accounting, debits and credits, right, or ledgers. So each smart contract has got a group of ledgers. A trade transaction or a financial transaction which has been traded on that blockchain. As the transaction is piled up, it forms a smart contract. The smart contract, when they reach a threshold of, let's say, 5, 10, 20 of those transactions, they then form the main smart contract, which is then piled up to become a block. Now, each block is connected to the next, as you can see it here. When they're connected to the next, can anybody tell me who has the exact same formulation of this? I believe I'm on the main screen, so I can see the colors. So orange on top, purple, blue, or red on top, purple, blue, and orange at the bottom. Anybody having that same sequence? Anybody having the same sequence of colors at their table? Or all these colors? Nobody, surprising. It seems the colors were not moving through. Anyway, so coming down to the point whereby immutable chain. The word immutable is very important. So let's assume that all these are on half of this room. These colors, if they are on half of this room, that would mean that we are on one blockchain, because this sequence is in that same format. The rest of the half of the room is not in that same sequence. So as and when I want to change this sequence, so blue at the bottom, yellow, orange on the top, that would mean all of you on this side will have to change into this sequence. So because it is also decentralized, it is also immutable. So if there's a hacker who wants to hack and change this sequence, he has to make sure he has to go to each and every table to change the sequence. Hence, it is completely unchangeable, immutable. And that is why it is extremely secure to trade on a blockchain platform. The additions are that the blockchain platform is now being integrated internationally, all right, onto digital coins. So the digital coin platform will now be embedded on the blockchain going forward. I hope that answers the question.
Maybe as we are getting to grips with the pieces of Jenga before us, maybe a very genuine question: where's the piece of land in this?
Very good, very good. Where is the piece of land? So when we're looking at tokenization and blockchain, so the format is the blockchain. Tokenization is whereby the real estate has been broken down into smaller tokens which have now been placed on those smart contracts. I hope we're clear on that. I'll look forward to questions from that.
I think silence means you have understood or we have not understood. Yeah, so Bryan and I also have some, maybe just a simpler, again, still to support the same. So he talked about a particular sequence of the different blocks. So we are going to demonstrate. Bryan, I don't know if you have your packs. So what happens, this could be denoting information. So we have information that needs to be secured. When you hear the word crypto, you know that word crypto? It sounds cryptic, but that cryptic means it is encoded. It is actually something that is already secure. So one of the features of blockchain is that security. And why that is a technology that is being used even to transfer money, like blockchain, cryptocurrency, is because it is very secure. So when you see blockchain as an underlying technology, it has brought a big revolution, even in terms of how IT and the revolution that is there. So for example, picture this. In your office, you send emails. When you send an email, you are left with a copy. Not so. How many, of course, you all are working with emails? Yes, you are left with a copy. But imagine if you are sending money and you are left with the same money. I've sent money to Bryan and I'm left with the same copy. There'll be a problem, not so. So blockchain, in a nutshell, has enabled us to be able to do that digital. So that's why we are saying it's a digital revolution, whereby you can actually transfer digital commodity. He talked about the tokens, and you're not left with a copy. So that is really potent and very powerful. So we'll demonstrate, we'll give everybody different blocks. Maybe Bryan, you want to start for us? Which block do you want?
Do you all have orange?
So
and yellow?
We can use this, you know, there are men here, so I don't know if orange, this is orange? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yes,
we need
yes.
a lady.
I think
from
we all
this
have
panel.
orange.
Okay, and yellow, yeah?
Yes, and yellow.
Let's just use those two.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So maybe we make them 3. I also have pink or purple. Okay, here we have men trying to explain. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the 3 of them. Yeah, so for example, if we are having a blockchain, Dr. Mohammed talked about the sequence. So we can have them in a particular sequence. So the first one is orange. Maybe you can all lift our orange. All right, we need another one for him. Is that orange? Oh my, I'm the one. So maybe like in this illustration, so if you are a blockchain, there's also verifiability. What makes it so secure is like mine looks orange, but it is not orange. Can you see that? Yeah, so this one will be rejected. So this is actually going to be what is actually accepted as a proper record. So that's why even when we talk about like land, he talked, what has this got to do with real estate? A lot of the biggest problems we have is actually changing or modifying land records. So imagine if you all were on a blockchain, we are all told to lift our yellow, orange. Yeah, so I'm out. So that is not correct. And then when we are building, maybe that land is transferred to somebody. Maybe we have yellow or orange or red. Red. You have yellow? Good. Yeah, so if we have yellow, so I had, so if the next one would be, if we have, Bryan, now you're colorblind. Do you have orange?
I have orange. What's the next
Oh,
one?
okay. You can pass this red. Maybe you can work with red. Okay. Yeah. So thank you. So we have orange and red. Yeah, so if you have a blockchain, that means, and why it is so powerful is because we can be able to digitally now build trust. We can be able to build trust instead of having one central organization that is actually determining what is the authentic maybe status of something like land registers. We can all be like a check and a balance to ourselves. So if we have the blockchains and we all lift up our blockchains, so mine would be out and theirs would be authentic. So this concept is very powerful in finance. It is actually causing disruption because unlike previously where you need a single central organization, so we can all be like a check and a balance to ourselves. So much about blockchain 101. Look at your neighbor, look at them well, ask them who can booger us. All right, we'll be loading Gen Z. All right, thank you very much. Bryan, over to you for the next session.
Yeah, I know we are the last panel, but you're coming with very big terms. So, blockchain, I think we'll still need to touch base and understand what that is. But one of the interesting things that Simon did is he demonstrated to us his software that now uses AI to do feasibility studies and things like that. And I think, Simon, you mentioned earlier that you're actually serving some of the REITs in the market with your solution. So maybe you can just provide a bit more color to it. How can such technologies actually help REITs that are coming to market and even existing ones with transparency and doing new constructions?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Bryan, for the question. So in terms of how we help our clients, so we bring a solution whereby there is a lot of data that has been collected and put it in our system. And all this data is being leveraged by our AI model, our software, to turn around recommendation, generate recommendation, prediction, forecasts in an immediate manner. So instead of wasting a lot of time, sitting with consultants, waiting for them to come back with their report, their recommendation, discussing the same, having back and forth, etc., running a process that usually ends up being months. This solution, first and foremost, it brings efficiency. So it brings efficiency in a form of transparency and in the form of speed. And speed, pace in real estate is very important. If you're able to be quick, if you're able to be quick at planning and strategy stage, which is very much the stage we help our client at, it allows you to go to market quicker. It allows you to go fundraise quicker. So you're shortening the process as a developer to go quicker to market and make a higher return, as simple as that.
Excellent. I think that was quite well answered. Now, going back to blockchain, I think we were also digesting on that. Now this is to Dr. Mohammed. So maybe two questions for you first. How does this blockchain of ours become Sharia compliant? How do we bring that concept here? And then you can tackle that.
We all have cell phones, right? And what we use that cell phone for is very critical. It can either be for good purpose or not good purpose. So technology is not biased by Sharia or Islamic law. Technology is a tool. How you use it, that's what's important. So when we're looking at blockchain is just the platform. What that platform is used for, all right, that is what we need to look at. So as a platform, it is permissible to now use that platform. But then when we're looking at, let's say, real estate, now if you're putting real estate on the blockchain platform and then tokenizing the real estate using the blockchain platform, then that becomes permissible. On the contrary, if it is a betting structure, all right, gambling structure, which is now being put on blockchain platform, yes, then that whole structure would not be permissible. Still blockchain, but it's doing gambling, so it's not going to be permissible. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed. And maybe Simon, what are the significant barriers that we have towards technology adoption in the real estate sector, and how can they be overcome?
Thank you. So in terms of the barrier, first, I think in a context of Africa and Kenya, the first barrier that you really see in terms of adoption of technology is the simple fact that you don't have so many PropTech solutions coming into the market. You see providers coming in from, let's say, the US or Europe, and they try to push their solution onto the local market, usually disregarding the local context, the local needs, the constraints of the market, the capacity of the market to have certain level of data, for example, and it makes the solutions that might be available out there a bit irrelevant to the market. So that's the first barrier, I would say, like, how do you want to adopt a product or service that is not adapted to what you're trying to achieve, the problems you're trying to solve locally. So that's the first barrier I see. The second issue I see is like an issue of maybe knowledge. There is not so much noise about prop tech technology in the real estate sector. Perhaps it's a sector that has been a bit, it's a bit slow to adopt new technologies in general. So that's also an issue we've seen with adoption. Now, when it comes to how do we overcome that, I think we as entrepreneurs have our role to play to come on the ground and solve the problem on the ground. And this is what we've done with AIRE. We started our product to conceptualize our product, talking to our clients here, understanding the pain point. The first and foremost pain point we've understood here is data, accessibility to quality data. The market is relatively opaque, and that's the very first problem to solve, and that's the very first problem we started to solve. Here in Kenya, in Nairobi. Nairobi is the first market we've opened for the software, and we've sent teams on the ground collecting data for months. It took us months to build our data set, to build data sets that were good enough to feed an AI and get out results that were good enough for us to work from. So I think it's a lot on us as entrepreneurs to do the work, listen to clients on the ground, and then push it, market it, make a bit of noise about it, be good enough as well to manage to raise capital, to carry on market after market. And then we can only hope and bet on the fact that our clients will support us on the ground. So that's also what we are hoping with the REITs. It's perhaps one more question for later, how the REITs can contribute.
Yeah, final question, I promise, to Dr. Mohammed. And then we are happy to take the best question from the floor. So maybe with, we are comparing a lot of things. There's blockchain, Islamic finance. What are some of the barriers to entry that you're seeing from a regulations perspective? Now that you're actively doing it in the market, what are some of the key hindrances that you've seen that you think perhaps need to be considered moving forward?
Okay, there are mainly two issues which we are facing with Islamic tokenization and blockchain and Islamic REITs. So one is the technology regulator. So tech reg, we are having issues with that because technologies in Kenya, mainly in Africa, very much of an infancy stage. So the rules, the regulations, the privacy, etc., all those details are still being embedded into law, and that has been a challenge. So you can't just go outright and launch and advertise your products so easily and get customers on board. Secondly, on Sharia, in Kenya, we do not have one single body as a Sharia regulator. So independent Sharia auditors, Sharia board members are coming in, and we generally have what we call in Islamic finance as a difference of opinion. So difference of opinion drives two choices. One will say approved, the other will say no, not approved or not permissible. So those are the common challenges we are facing at the moment.
Well, thank you very much, and we really appreciate your keen attention and also your participation, especially as we are looking at blockchain and also artificial intelligence. These are technologies you don't want to ignore because they are bringing efficiencies. They are going to build trust. They're also going to bring a lot of decentralization as opposed to having one central party, and also a lot of efficiency. So thank you very much. We'll be opening it up to you for questions. Davina?
Listen, I love anyone who brings in Lego to a presentation. You have my vote.
Thank you very much, Davina.
For prize for most vibey might be going to them, if I'm honest. So did that scare you guys? We happy? We confident? You Tings? Who has a question?
Thank you for that. My name is Mudeo. I'm in the hospitality consulting and management space. We are in the process of creating a Sharia-compliant financing product for hotels. And I'm a bit concerned about your comment that you'll go a few steps ahead and you'll be told it's not very Sharia compliant, or somebody will say yes, somebody will say no. Is there a process that will sort of ensure that we get there sooner rather than later, or do we just keep going until we get the approval?
You can hire him to consult. That's the easiest way.
Okay, it's very important that before you jump into an Islamic structure, get an Islamic audit done first, before you jump into it. Yeah, because what will happen from the onset, I'll give you an example. When I was working with Akon, and we first did an overview before we jumped into compliance to it. So we had to do an audit first. When the audit passed, then we said, okay, fine, now let's do the structure. Thank you.
Okay, how are you? Okay, you've also done your PhD in, okay, carry on.
Leaderless.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
Just to conclude, I think as much as Sharia compliant, there is a gap to it. You do not have to start afresh. As you mentioned, the Econ REITs are already Sharia compliant, and we also have another product, a sukuk, that was listed recently. So you don't have to pay the school fees yourself. I think the ranges of all those products are within the forum, so you can also just borrow from what they did.
Yeah.